So, good afternoon. I'm Lisa Weber. It's nice to be here for all of you. We are going to start our lunchtime yoga session. And I'll just give you maybe like one more minute in case people are still making their way back to the meeting. But for those of you that are here, I would like for you to start on your back. And if it's problematic at all for you to lay down on your back, you can have your legs bent. You're welcome to turn your cameras off or on, whatever your preference is. And as I was introduced, you do not need to have any yoga experience. My intention for our time here is just to hold space for you to get into a state of rest and digest, soothe, and repair. So for those of you that are here, make your way onto the floor. Do we need to see you to see the screen? That's a great question.
Sorry, I meant, do we need to be able to see you on the screen while we're laying down?
Yeah, I saw that. That might be helpful. Thank you for mentioning that in case I'm suggesting something that anybody isn't familiar with. You could take a peek at your screen, so you could angle your device so that you can see me. I'm really close to my laptop right now, but in another minute or so, I'll hop back onto my yoga mat. So go ahead and make your way onto your back. And as I said earlier, if that bothers your low back, just bend your legs with your feet hip distance on your yoga mat. And you don't even need to be on a yoga mat for that matter. I'm going to have everybody get themselves situated. Again, I'm Lisa, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm going to have you close your eyes. If you're comfortable doing that. And just allow your eyeballs to drop back into their sockets. Feeling the weight of your eyelids just covering your eyeballs. And that subtle weight can just signal to the rest of your body that it's time to be still. Let there be some additional space between your arms and your side body. You'll want to turn your palms up to face the sky, which will help ease your shoulder blades down your back. And just let your pinky toes and ankle bones drape out, down towards the floor. Start to soften your facial features, especially through the region of your eyes. You want a spacious quality within your mouth, just a slight gap between the upper and lower jaw. Might even behoove you to swallow a few times, letting go of any lingering tension that's present in the jawline. And if you're just joining our class, you are starting on your back. And just start to feel the edges of your body being held and contained by the earth beneath you. Welcoming this opportunity to just rest your body and your mind in the middle of your day. One of the most important components of a yoga practice is just acknowledging your breath. So to help us fully arrive into this space, let's just take a collective in-breath together, in through your nostrils. Open your mouth and just sigh it out. Like you were fogging up a mirror. We'll do that again. Take a big breath in together. Open the mouth and let it out. One more time. Inhale here. And exhale. And with your eyes closed, I just want you to take your left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. And taking this opportunity to just check in and connect with who and how you are right now. With all that you've heard in today's session. And regardless of what's here for you today, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, I just ask that you come as you are. That's where your body and your practice will meet you. So we just push off from here together. Coming from darkness into the light, let's blink our eyes open. You'll take your arms up and overhead, interlace your hands, press out through your palms, flex your feet, and just give yourself a full body stretch. And then circle your arms down beside you. I just want you to bend both legs and bring your knees into your chest. You're going to wrap your arms around your knees or your shins and do a little rocking from side to side. And then let's find stillness. You're going to extend your left leg forward, but keep your right leg bent. Interlace your hands at your kneecap or your shin and give yourself a little squeeze. You're going to press into the back of your shoulders, the back of your skull. Let's start some ankle rotations here. Just rotating your foot around in one direction. And then let's reverse that direction. You're going to return your foot to stillness. Lower your arms down to the floor. You'll turn your palms down. Your right leg will still stay bent. Keep both feet flexed, but let your right leg sail out to the right. Circle back to center and you'll continue. Be mindful of your space. If you're not sure, you can peek up here and see how I'm moving my leg. Just some gentle movement and mobility work for your hip. Popping in the hips fairly common, so if that's happening and bothering you, you can make your circle a little smaller. And we'll come back to center. You're still staying on the right leg, but you'll reverse your rotation. This is just an opportunity to increase your range of motion, flexibility, and circulation in your hip. And then you'll bring your knee back into your chest. Your left hand's going to grab a hold of the outside of the right knee. You're going to roll onto your left hip and come into a twist. And you're going to extend that right arm out to a T position if you have space. And just take a few cleansing breaths here. Like you're wringing out your spine like a wet washcloth. Being mindful of the stillness, the semi-silence, invitation to slow down, tune in and connect to yourself in a different capacity. And now we're going to unwind. Let's come back to center. Bring your right knee back into your chest, but just readjust your hips so that they're symmetrical. You're going to bend your left leg, sole of that foot to the floor. Your right foot's going to come over to the outside of that left thigh. Take your right hand to the inside of your right knee and just press your knee away from you. Again, if you're not sure, you can peek at your device. Some of you may want to just hang out right here with your foot on the ground, or you can float your foot off the floor and bring your hands through to thread through to catch your hamstrings, maybe even your left shin. This is called threading the needle. It's beneficial for all that fascia in the outer hip and glute area. Fascia is just connective tissue, and it just gets bound up from lifestyle and activities, all the sitting we do in our culture. Just relax your upper body, especially neck and shoulders, and take a few conscious breaths from your navel, from your abdomen. And we breathe short and shallow breaths from the chest. It's not good for our central nervous system to take those longer, slower, deep in and out breaths. And then we're going to slowly release. Extend both legs forward. Just give your legs a little shake, observing both sides of the body, that noticeable imbalance. Let's bring the left knee in. Give yourself a little squeeze here. Start your ankle rotations on that left foot. And reverse. Let's return your foot to stillness. Lower your arms to the floor. Keep both feet flexed. Left leg sails out. And you circle back and around. Getting that synovial fluid that resides within the hip capsule to lubricate the ball and socket of your hip joints so that your joints stay supple, healthy, hydrated. And come back to center and reverse. You'll bring your knee back in for a little squeeze, and then your right hand's going to bring your knee across the midline of your body, coming into your twist. And try to relax that left shoulder. You can look up or over to the left. And together we'll unwind. Come back to center. Bring that left knee back in. Readjust your hips accordingly. We're going to bend the right leg. Bring the left foot over. Left hand to the inside of that left knee. Push your push your knee away from you. You can stay here, or you can float the foot. Just go into this conscious abdominal breath. In and out through your nose. And then slowly release down. You're going to extend your legs forward, give yourself a little shake. And then we're going to roll to the right side. And I just want you to press yourself up to tabletop. So you'll come up onto your hands and knees. You just want to line up your shoulders to your wrists, knees to your hips. Spread your fingers wide. We're going to do a therapeutic rock forward and backwards. So just rock forward, likely to feel this in your wrists. So press into your fingertips. You'll rock backwards and your bum can go way back to your heels if you prefer. Back and forth at your own pace. Good for your low back and your hands. Let's come back to tabletops. We're going to do a few rounds of cat and cow. We'll take a collective breath in together. You're going to exhale, tuck and round, chin to chest, eyes to thighs, belly to side. If you're not sure, you can peek here. And then we're going to inhale, tilt the tail, let your heart travel through the arms of the doorway and look up towards your ceiling. And then we contract and round. And you just continue. Maintaining the health and integrity of your spine. We'll come back to your traditional tabletop. I want to work your shoulders a little bit. So let's extend the right arm out and up to the ceiling. And then you're going to exhale, thread your arm through, and in theory, shoulder and cheek come down to the floor. You might be on the back of your head. Have the freedom to do whatever feels good with that left arm. And again, just focus on your breath here. Focus on the sensations that are present in your body. And then we're going to rise back up to our tabletop. Take your hips to the right, through center, over to the left. Let your bum drop back to your heels. Just make some circles, getting into our bodies and out of our heads. And we'll come back up to center. And then you're going to extend the left arm out and up. And then you'll exhale, thread that arm through. Shoulder and cheek come down to the floor. And then let's press back up to tabletop. So I want you to take your hips now to the left, up through center, over to the right. There's no wrong or right way to do this, just intuitively moving. We'll come back up to tabletop. So from here, we're going to move into downward facing dog. So it's going to be some weight bearing energy on your hands. If that bothers your wrists, think about pressing into your fingertips. So hands are shoulder distance. You're going to tuck your toes. We're going to send the hips up to the sky and legs back. And you might want to walk your dog here a little bit, just pedaling your feet. If it's too much weight-bearing energy on your hands or shoulders, you can just come back to your tabletop. And then let's find stillness in the posture. You're going to zip up from pubic bone to belly button, really integrating into the core. Push your hands down into the floor to send your hips up towards the sky. Take a few breaths here. And then we're going to walk our feet up to our hands, coming into a standing forward fold. You might want to just keep a soft bend in your knees. You might want to toe heel your feet wider than your hips. You can grab your elbows and do a little swaying. It's a big stretch for the back side of the body. Forward folds are really good for our body's circulatory system, changing energy and blood flow within the body. So let's find stillness here. We're going to come up into a half lift. So take your palms to your shins, your knees, or your thighs, whatever's in reach, or whatever feels more comfortable today. And just feel that extension on the sides of your body. And then we'll exhale, bow down. So I want you to bend your knees, and you're going to inhale, rise. My body may get cut off from the screen. I didn't test this out. If you did, okay. Take your arms up and overhead. Right down the midline of your body to your heart. You're going to release your hands, and I want you to step your right foot forward, left foot back. You're going to angle your left foot at a 90-degree angle. We're going to track the right knee and shin forward, and you're going to add your arms for warrior pose. This is for the work that all of you do, representing the warriors that you are, for the children, the families. Take your gaze, your eyes, past that right middle finger. You want your right knee moving out towards the pinky toe. 50% of your weight is in the front foot, 50% is in the back foot. Just let your breath anchor you. Holding steady. And then bring your hands to your heart center in prayer position. Straighten your right leg, we'll quarter turn to the right and just pivot your left foot back. We'll separate the hands, extend the arms. We'll come into warrior two on the left side. So really push into the pinky edge of that right foot. Reaching and extending from your heart center. And bring your hands back to prayer position at the heart. Straighten the left leg. We're going to quarter turn to the right so both of your feet are parallel. Extend your arms out to a T position, and now we're going to hinge forward, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. And you may need to toe heel your feet in a little bit if your stance is too wide. You might have a soft bend in the knees. If your hands don't touch the floor, that's totally okay. Grab your elbows out in front of you. And just keep breathing. So let's come up into our half lift. You're going to pivot your right foot forward. Spin your left heel off the floor. And just in the spirit of making things a little challenging for us, we're going to try to step the right foot back into plank pose. So it would look like this. And then you're just going to come onto your knees. Take your knees wide, press back into a child's pose. Just bowing down here with reverence and respect for your career path, for all that you're learning in this summit today, all these connections you have with each other. See if you can fill the entire circumference of your rib cage with your breath. And then you're going to peel yourself up, just rise up. Take your shins out from underneath you on one side. Come onto your bum and just come forward because we're going to make our way onto our backs. So bring your arms forward, shoulders back and down. We're going to take it down one vertebra at a time. So do you feel like you're going to crash? Just bring your hands to your knees, to your hamstrings, and then to. When you've reached the floor, you're going to indulge in a good afternoon stretch. And then I want you to circle your arms down beside you. Bend your legs and bring your feet wider than your hips. And let your knees touch at the midline of your body. So you can peek up here. This is called constructed rest pose. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes again. And all I want you to do is focus on your breath, entering and exiting your body. So conscious breathing can really change the biology and physiology within our bodies, putting us into that state of rest and digest soothe and repair so that we can decompress from the highs and lows of just being human. So pull that breath deep from your belly. Feel it travel up into your rib cage, up into your lungs, and then back down into your belly. It's almost like a massage for your organic body. And continue that for a few more rounds. And then you will welcome your breath as it is. From here, we have time to go into windshield wipers. If you've never done this before, you're going to alternate bringing your knees down to one side. You'll come up through center over to the other side. Back and forth. Observing where there's sensation in the body. Let's do one more per side. You'll meet back in constructed rest pose. And if your low back is a little tender, you can stay here for Shavasana, our last posture together, or you can extend your legs forward and give them a little shake. And if you are a meditator and prefer seated meditation, that's an option too. In a posture that's going to be of service to you, you will close your eyes, just letting all this work that you just did for your body get integrated so it reaches you on a cellular level. I will cue you when it's time to rise. Just be still and silent. Allow your next breath to be more intentional than the last. And just wiggle your toes and fingers. Extend that movement into your wrists, your ankles. And take your arms up and overhead, awakening to the rest of your day. If you're on your back, roll to whatever side speaks to you, and together we'll rise to a seated posture. Any posture that you're comfortable with. And together we'll bring our hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position of the heart, sealing in our time and practice with each other today. Just bow your head to your heart. And we'll take a full breath into the epicenter of our hearts. And I hope that today's practice continues to be of service to you, a benefit to you and to others. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I'm grateful for all the work that you do for our community and beyond. Thank you. Namaste. Hope that you're all well and that you enjoyed this. You have a good rest of your afternoon at the summit. Thank you.